unconditional, infinite love. After a period of time, I don't know how long, I fell into a deep sleep. Later, I awoke again and was in tears. All I felt was gratitude. The experience of infinite, unbridled joy left me wanting everyone to experience it. The next day, I couldn't think of anything else, and I couldn't wait to go to sleep that night. Life was wonderful. I've been blessed with many other wonderful experiences since then, but this childhood taste of unconditional love was the ultimate. Many years passed, and since then I've had my ups and downs like everybody else. This one experience of connectedness didn't lead to a life free of problems. However, as one great teacher said, pain is a prod to remembrance. Now when I look back at the most challenging moments in my life, I realize that support has always been there, and many times animals were providing that support. I had been training dogs for many years using standard methods, but about 10 years ago, I had a sudden intuitive awareness that irrevocably changed my life. It's as if that long ago light of love experience had planted a seed in my consciousness, which finally sprouted. A new sensitivity toward life had bloomed. I could simply no longer pop a dog's leash to remind him of what he was supposed to do, nor could I yell to get my point across. I had come to a crossroad, a fork in the road between nonviolent and violent training. One path says, my dog knows this, he's just being stubborn. And here's where the jerking, shocking, shaking methods are employed. The other says, if your dog doesn't understand what you're asking her to do, go back to the point where she was successful, and with compassion and understanding, start over again. And that brings us to this book. This book is unique in that it adheres to the philosophy that the result of training, getting your dog to sit, is not as important as the process you use to get there. With this in mind, this book attempts to link intuitive and scientific methodology, all under the vehicle of nonviolence. Part 1 of this book deals with the practical aspects of raising and training a dog. Part 2 gives you the nitty-gritty of how to train, and Part 3 takes you step by step through training specific behaviors. Finally, in Part 4, you'll learn how to use nonviolent methods to resolve problem behaviors. The methods presented here align with sound behavioral principles. Indeed, it is in the application of science, rooted in compassion and awareness, that spiritual and behavioral evolution takes place. With this revised edition, we happily restate our commitment and philosophy that treating animals with kindness is directly linked with treating each other as human beings with kindness. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Part 1. The Basics of Dog Training. Chapter 1. Positive Training Works. Within weeks after their birth, dogs know how to sit, lie down, stand, stay, bark and not bark, run and come, heel and track. We don't have to teach them any of this. All we have to do is ask them to please inhibit their biting on certain objects, go to the bathroom outside, and do what they do naturally when and where we request. Reward-based training. Basically, there are 2 ways to train an animal, with physical force and coercion, or with rewards, which is certainly easier on both dog and human. It's the age-old idea of getting an animal to do something by beating her with a stick or rewarding her with a carrot. Which is more humane? Which is easier and in the long run more effective? Over the last few decades, thousands of dog trainers have discovered that positive training best answers these questions. In addition, there are many positive behavior modification programs now in use at the leading veterinary schools of behavior at the University of Pennsylvania, Tufts University, Cornell, University of California at Davis, and many others. They have found negative training to be unsafe, unnecessary, and ineffective in the long run. This book is about using carrots. That is, praise, food treats, toys, massage, social interaction.